You pull back. You go silent. Maybe it was after a heated argument, a painful breakup, or perhaps it's a calculated strategic move on your part to shift the dynamic, and then the silence descends. And in that silence, that burning, obsessive question ignites in your mind. What is she really thinking right now? What is she truly feeling in my absence? It's one of the biggest, most tormenting mysteries men face in the complex dance of relationships. Because here's the unvarnished truth. What happens in her mind, in her heart, when you are not there, when your presence is suddenly withdrawn, isn't always what she projects on the surface. It's rarely what she'd admit to her friends, and almost never what she'd tell you, even if you asked. There's a complex, often contradictory interplay of emotions, deep-seated psychological triggers, and frequently a surprising internal battle that most men are completely, tragically oblivious to. Today, we are not just peeking behind the curtain, we are dissecting the female psyche under the microscope of absence. I am revealing the typical emotional and psychological stages a woman almost invariably goes through during your absence, the raw, uncensored truth. And understanding these stages won't just give you profound insight, it can give you incredible leverage, clarity, and peace of mind. Crucially, stage number 3 is often the critical juncture where her desire for you can either reignite into an inferno or completely die out. You absolutely need to know this. Stay with me. Before we dissect the intricate tapestry of her feelings, you must grasp this fundamental psychological principle. Absence isn't merely not being there. From a psychological standpoint, your deliberate, unexplained absence creates a void, a sudden, jarring vacuum in her reality, especially if your presence was previously consistent, and human nature, as we know, abhors a vacuum. When your presence, your communication, your energy, your validation is suddenly and completely withdrawn, it forcefully disrupts her established patterns, her emotional equilibrium, her sense of predictability. This void forces her mind to work overtime. It starts desperately trying to fill in the blanks, replaying memories, both good and bad, questioning scenarios, analyzing your last words, your last actions. Your silence, paradoxically, can become louder, more impactful, more thought-provoking than any words you could possibly speak at that moment. Crucially, this often shifts the power dynamic. You are no longer actively seeking her attention, her validation. Instead, her mind, her thoughts, her emotional energy starts to become increasingly preoccupied with you, with your absence, with the why. This isn't about promoting malicious game playing for its own sake. It's about understanding a fundamental, often uncomfortable, psychological truth. Scarcity dramatically increases perceived value, and mystery fuels potent intrigue and even obsession. Your absence, whether you intend it to or not, triggers both of these powerful levers. Stage 1, typically manifesting in the initial days, up to about a week of your unexplained absence, is characterized by a potent cocktail of initial confusion, a stinging ego bruise, and often a layer of subtle or not so subtle anger or annoyance. Her very first instinctive thought isn't usually, "Oh my God, I miss him terribly, I need him back." It's more primal, more ego-driven. "Wait, what the hell? Where did he go? Why isn't he texting, calling like he usually does? Did something happen? Or is he ignoring me?" Her internal dialogue and psychology at this stage, her established pattern has been violently disrupted. If you were consistently present, your abrupt absence is jarring, unsettling. Her ego will almost certainly pipe up. "Doesn't he know who I am? How dare he just disappear or ignore me like this?" She might feel a flicker of righteous anger, a definite annoyance, or even a low hum of anxiety. She will likely check her phone compulsively, Replay your last interactions with forensic detail, searching for clues for any hint of what went wrong or why you vanished. She might even subtly test the waters, a vague social media post, a story she knows you'd usually see, to see if you react, to see if you're still there. What this means for you and your strategy. At this crucial initial stage, she's not necessarily missing you, the individual, deeply, yet. She's missing the attention, the validation, the pattern of your interaction. Your silence is a powerful pattern interrupt, a psychological jolt. This is precisely where her mind starts to focus on you more intensely, because you've transformed from a predictable presence into an unanswered question, an intriguing puzzle, a source of cognitive dissonance. Your best move? Hold firm, maintain the silence. Breaking your silence now completely negates the psychological effect and signals weakness or predictability on your part. Let her ego grapple with your absence. You've essentially cut off her supply of your attention, a form of validation she may have taken for granted. This creates a psychological itch, an imbalance that her mind will subconsciously seek to scratch, to resolve. Stage 2, typically kicking in with more force after the initial shock, anger, and ego bruising begins to subside, usually somewhere in the second to third week of your absence, is characterized by a potent wave of nostalgia, a flurry of rationalizations, often self-blaming, and an intense what-if roller coaster. The sharp edges of her initial annoyance or anger might soften, replaced by a more reflective, often melancholic state. Her internal dialogue and psychology at this stage. Her mind will almost inevitably start replaying positive memories of your time together. The rosy retrospection or fading effect bias kicks in. She begins to remember the good times more vividly, more fondly, while the negative aspects may start to fade or seem less significant. She might start to rationalize your absence in ways that shift the blame, sometimes even towards herself. Maybe he's just incredibly busy with work. Or more significantly, maybe I was a bit too harsh, distant, demanding. Maybe I didn't appreciate him enough. Self-doubt about her own actions can creep in. She'll ponder endlessly. What if I pushed him away by specific action? What if he's met someone else already because I wasn't good enough, attentive enough? What if this is really it and I've lost him for good? This is where genuine curiosity about your well-being, your current situation, and your reasons for silence begins to grow into something more substantial, more emotionally charged. What this means for you and your strategy. This is an absolutely critical phase. Her emotional investment in the idea of you, in the memory of you, can actually intensify here as she romanticizes the past and grapples with the gnawing uncertainty of the present. Your continued, unwavering silence acts as an amplifier for these what-ifs, for this nostalgic longing. If she reaches out during this stage, her communication is often more tentative, more vulnerable, less demanding, perhaps even apologetic, compared to any initial angry or confused pokes. She's testing the waters more gently now, hoping for a sign. Your absence acts like a powerful psychological filter, sifting through the memories, often highlighting the golden moments and making her intensely question her own role in creating the distance. The void you've created is now being filled with her own doubts and a growing appreciation for what was. Stage 3. This is it. The tipping point. This is where her accumulated feelings, her internal debates, her anxieties, and her hopes will crystallize and push her in one of two distinct directions. This outcome is largely dependent on the initial strength and quality of the connection you shared, her own personality, her attachment style, her resilience, her other options, and, of course, the duration and nature of your absence. The two paths are acute fear of permanent loss, leading to genuine missing and often desperate reconnection attempts, or a sense of resignation leading to emotional detachment and a definitive decision to move on. Her internal dialogue and psychology, path A, fear of loss and genuine missing you. If the connection was strong, if her interest was genuine and deep, your prolonged, unexplained absence now triggers a powerful, acute fear of permanent loss. The what-ifs become urgent, almost unbearable. She genuinely starts to miss you, your specific presence, your unique qualities, the way you made her feel, the future she might have envisioned. Regret can become a very powerful motivator here. The desire to reconnect, to understand, to potentially fix things, to get another chance, becomes significantly stronger, sometimes overwhelmingly so. This is where more significant, more direct, and sometimes even emotionally charged attempts to reach out to you often occur. She needs to break the silence. Her internal dialogue and psychology, path B, resignation and emotional detachment. Conversely, if the initial interest was superficial, if the connection was weak, if she's highly independent, has many other viable options, or if your absence simply drags on for too long without any perceived hope, she might reach a point of resignation. She'll conclude, okay, he's clearly not interested, he's gone for good, or this just isn't worth the emotional turmoil. It's time for me to fully accept this and move on. She'll start to actively emotionally detach, grieve the connection if necessary, and consciously refocus her energy, her attention, and her romantic prospects elsewhere. The pain of your absence is outweighed by the need for self-preservation and forward movement. What this means for you and your strategy. This is the ultimate make-or-break stage. Your prior understanding of the initial dynamic between you is absolutely crucial here. If you sense she's on path A and she makes a significant, genuine move to reconnect, any re-engagement from your side, if that is your desired outcome, must be handled with extreme care, poise, and from a position of maintained value and strength. You don't just crumble back. If you sense she's firmly on path B, or if her attempts to reconnect are weak, manipulative, or don't address the core issues, then your absence has simply confirmed incompatibility or her low initial level of investment, and you've saved yourself further wasted time and emotional energy. The profound power here is that her true level of investment, her genuine desire or lack thereof, is unequivocally revealed by her actions or inaction during this critical period. Your prolonged strategic silence can either amplify her desire to an almost unbearable point due to perceived high value, irreplaceability, and the psychological torment of scarcity, forcing her hand to bridge the gap. Or it can force her to confront the uncomfortable reality that she wasn't as invested as she, or perhaps even you, initially thought, leading to a natural, if sometimes painful, severing. Both outcomes provide you with invaluable, actionable information and often a significant power advantage moving forward. So understanding these intricate emotional stages isn't just a fascinating academic exercise in female psychology. It is highly strategic, actionable intelligence. How you respond or choose not to respond at each stage can dramatically influence the outcome. During stage 1, confusion, ego, bruise, or anger, your most powerful move is almost always continued, unwavering silence. Let her ego grapple with your absence. Let the questions build. Reaching out now, offering explanations, or reacting to her potential anger kills the mystery, negates the pattern interrupt, and puts you back on the defensive. During stage 2, nostalgia, rationalization, what ifs? If she reaches out tentatively, with curiosity or a hint of vulnerability, your response, if you choose to give one after a calculated delay, should be calm, slightly detached, positive, but not overly eager or emotional. Maintain your frame. Keep it brief. Let her invest more in the conversation. Don't give her all the answers she craves immediately. During stage 3, the tipping point, this is where your discernment is paramount. If she makes a significant, genuine, and respectful move to reconnect, path A, you then decide from your position of strength and clarity if and how you wish to re-engage. Any re-engagement must be on terms that reflect your value and address any prior issues. If she remains silent, clearly detaches, path B, or her attempts to reconnect are manipulative or superficial, you have your definitive answer. You can then confidently and peacefully move on yourself, knowing you played your hand with strength and integrity. The absolute key throughout this entire process is patience, unwavering emotional discipline on your part, and a commitment to your own value. Let the psychological process of your absence unfold naturally. Don't rush it. Don't sabotage it with impulsive actions. So, to crystallize this, when you strategically or circumstantially disappear, a woman in whom you've sparked interest likely navigates these profound internal stages. Stage 1, initial confusion, ego bruise, and subtle anger. Her world is disrupted. Stage 2, nostalgia, rationalization, self-blame, and the what-if roller coaster. Her mind rewrites and yearns. Stage 3, the tipping point. Acute fear of loss and genuine missing, or resigned detachment and moving on. Her decisive internal shift. This is the hidden emotional landscape, the often unspoken, uncensored truth. Now I want to hear your field reports, your first-hand observations. Which of these emotional stages have you personally witnessed in a woman after you've pulled back or after a period of absence? Or what other subtle yet powerful emotional shifts have you observed in her during your silence that confirmed her interest or disinterest? Share your invaluable insights, your aha moments in the comments below. Let's collectively become masters at understanding the female mind. Your experience can illuminate the path for others. If this video just unlocked a new, profound level of understanding for you, if it shattered some old myths, then share it. Too many men are flying completely blind in these complex emotional situations. Let's equip them with the map. Let's give them clarity for more deep, uncensored dives into female psychology, the art of attraction, the dynamics of power, and how to navigate the intricate world of relationships with unparalleled understanding, confidence, and leverage. Make sure you have absolutely demolished that subscribe button and have activated all notifications. The most potent revelations are yet to come. Use this knowledge wisely, ethically, and powerfully.